All right, YouTube. So, Lindsey Graham went on Martha McCallum's show today and basically was talking about how proud he was of Trump and his strong rhetoric towards Iran. So, I want to go ahead and just pick apart this whole thing and maybe explain to you guys why I think this is actually very smart on Trump's part. It ranks up there with the nuclear button tweet, and I think what it's actually what's beginning to unfold now is that Trump isn't satisfied with having peace with North Korea. Now he's going to go and try and get peace with Iran, going against the neocon playbook. I hope and pray, and I actually maybe just half know that that's going to happen. I'm not sure though. I happen to believe in 4D chess. I'm a very optimistic person about Trump, especially. I can't say the same for my friends. Like even the neocons here in Santa Cruz. Believe me, there are a lot of neocons here in Santa Cruz. It is weird, man. Like straight up like people who like adore John McCain and like think he's just such a great man and like are very fond of Bush. Looking back at it, it's like it's crazy. But nonetheless, there are a lot of neocons there. And a lot of them are very anti-Iran because Iran is Israel's greatest threat apparently. But looking at it from a far back position, I can appreciate the whole thing. Like Lindsey Graham basically was, I don't know if I'm using this word right, hoodwinked into going on the national television with Martha McCallum and basically talking about how great he thinks it's going to be that we're going to go to a war with Iran. And then on the flip side too, he's like, "Oh, I'm going to propose legislation that's going to help essentially overthrow the Iranian government." And he said, and Martha McCallum's like, "Oh, how do you think you're going to do that?" And he basically said, "Well, I'm going to write legislation that is, I can't do his accent, but that essentially encourages the Iranian people to overthrow their government." It's just crazy. Yeah, and guys like Bolton are probably really happy that he said that too. I don't know if Bolton's in on the joke or in on the 4D chess. I think he might be, honestly. I mean, for how despicable of a person John Bolton is, you have to look at it objectively and say maybe he's probably just an evil genius, and Trump's probably using him he's using him to his advantage, to Trump's advantage, hopefully. I got very discouraged in April with the Syrian strikes. Like, it really hit hard for me because I'm just very anti-war. But I do appreciate the rhetoric that Trump is using because the tweet that he sent out about North Korea was just so over the top, so phallic in nature, basically talking about his dick being bigger than Kim's, essentially. And he basically... He fucking lit up the media, and everybody was talking about it. Every single person that was talking about Trump in that moment was talking about the nuclear button. And then Michael Wolff releases his book. What's it called? Fire and Fury. Basically paying homage to, or not really paying homage, but kind of a reference or throwback back to Trump's sudden comments where he crosses his arms at the table while everybody's in the middle of a conversation and says, "North Korea best not attack the United States. They will be met with fire and fury." I look at Trump as, I actually have to agree with David Icke here. He's a Hollywood actor, but he's using it to his advantage and helping the American people in the process. Like the tax cuts, that's great. That didn't really take much on his part to sell that because less taxes is good. That's just a very simple rule. It's a constant almost, which is why the tax cuts are pretty much universally popular. Maybe not so much with certain people in the higher income brackets, but hey, us working class people, we need relief for sure. That's no joke. So tax cuts are good, but Trump using his acting skills, his exposure to Hollywood and show business, basically, he knows how to play the media, and he also knows how to provoke certain reactions from certain people. And I really do believe that a lot of these Twitter feuds that he has with certain politicians are kind of just like ruses. Like the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger was obviously a publicity stunt to get people to watch The Apprentice, because you were not going to be able to sell that show without having Trump at least be distantly a part of it, like, you know, in the fashion that he was, basically talking about how shitty of a host Arnold was as the Celebrity Apprentice. I never actually watched it, but I never even watched the old Apprentice. I watched it like a little bit when I was like a kid, you know, but those kind of shows didn't really interest me. Like, as far as NBC went, I'd watch things like Fear Factor and Seinfeld when I was growing up. Those were pretty cool shows. So anyways, going back to Trump and his genius, I really do believe it's genius, and I'm not making excuses for the guy. There are times where he says stupid shit. And then there's also times where he says stupid shit, like today, that actually accomplishes what he wants to. It's essentially a shit post on his part that's going to send a shockwave through his own political cabinet. And guys like his colleagues or his peers like Lindsey Graham are basically going to show their true colors, and basically they're going to show how great they think it would be to overthrow Iran. So essentially that would help Israel. That would only help Israel. It's not going to help the United States. You know, they're not going to send any more of our farm boys over there to fight for them. That's not going to happen. You know, we're going to take a stand for that for sure. If you guys agree with me, let me know. I really am I crazy, or am I just? I mean, this is kind of what I'm seeing right now, and this is only because this is what I'm basing this off is that with the North Korean button tweet, it kind of looks like he's using the same method, like the same kind of template, and I hope it works. I really do believe that if he were to settle the tensions between Iran and the United States, because they hate each other for good reason too, or not so much on our part, but their part. Yeah, absolutely, they have every right to hate us. You know, we've been interfering in that region's politics for years. You know, basically propping up Iraq and the Iraq-Iran war. It's bullshit, man. And we've basically been carrying water for Israel a lot. Like I said, though, I'm an optimist. I really think that a lot of Trump's appeal before he got elected from the alt-right and from various others, anti-Zionists, and even anti-Zionism is becoming mainstream, I feel like. You know, I hope to be part of the effort to make it mainstream, because it's not anti-Semitic. This is why it's going to be really important for me to share my details when I read the 13th Tribe, because it's going to clearly explain the origins of Israel and how that ties back to the Khazars and how, you know, evil they are. Essentially, they're mercenaries. They're blood drinkers. And that's the historical account. And I'm only 40 pages into the book, but they talk about these people like they're savages, you know, and essentially that's what they were. They were a warlike people, and they still are. But yeah, kudos to Trump for essentially triggering Lindsey Graham into admitting on national television with Martha MacCallum that he wants to overthrow Iran to keep Israel safe. That's what he says. Check out the video. It's going to be in the description below. The link is. And I shit you not, I literally accused Monday Matt of bolstering up his like and dislikes, because obviously his opinion is very putrid, in my opinion. I mean, I would also go ahead and assume that the public court of opinion would probably agree with me, just using common sense. But Fox News, I believe they do the same thing, like with their subscriber count and their the thumbs up. You know, I wouldn't rule them out from doing such a thing, because there are a lot of videos like that just don't make any sense. Like, it's like Lindsey Graham talking about bombing Iran for the sake of Israel, and that video has more thumbs up than thumbs down. But if you scroll the comments, you're going to see like a mixture of like people saying like, oh, you know, Lindsey Graham the neocon. Like, I left a comment. And there's going to be people that are anonymous accounts that are essentially like saying like, oh, Trump doesn't, you know, kiss the rings of anybody. It's like, that's not how it works, guys. You know, and a lot of neocons, especially with the Kim summit, they're basically trying to say, like, they're basically trying to sell you that line of bullshit that Trump basically sold the United States out, simply because of the fact that he talked with the guy, and the same with Putin. It's straight out of the neocon playbook. So Lindsey Graham, I mean, he's pretty much the poster child of that. You know, him and John McCain are essentially, you know, two peas in the same pod in terms of their political rhetoric, in terms of their pro-Israel, anti-Russia sentiment. It's so transparent at this point, and I cannot wait for Flake and McCain to retire. I cannot wait for Lindsey Graham to get voted out. I'm glad that Flake is retiring, but the truth is I guess they're saying that Flake's going to try and run in 2020. I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if he's going to run as a Democrat or as an independent, but it would be interesting to see. I wouldn't rule it out to see Jeff Flake run as a Democrat. I really would not. If you think about it, it'd actually be a very smart move because it would kind of give the Democratic Party a poster child in terms of like, it would actually be like the anti-walk-away movement. So essentially it'd be like all these neocons walking over to the Democratic Party, and Jeff Flake would pretty much be the poster child of that. That's just what I think, though. Honestly, I might be crazy. I like my ideas. Let me know what you guys think. I think I'm going a little over my time here. Peace out.